Guys, Xoranath here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the new Crazy Dungeon Heroic mode that's recently been introduced in the latest patch. Uh, so, if you guys don't know, the way you unlock Heroic mode is you need to clear the 10th floor of whichever dungeon you're trying to do. You need to clear it with at least 250 luck. And that does not include if you guys use dice. Dice apparently don't count for that, so you have to have 250 luck. You could go check out my video for heavy metal to see a team that has well over 250 luck if you want to see how to unlock this for heavy metal, but you have to do it for each individual dungeon to unlock it. And a couple things here with the heroic mode. So it's harder, it's harder to kill things, their stats are a little bit higher. What they're saying is you have a 1.5 times chance to get extra, or to get 5-star gears. I don't know what the base rate drop for 5-star gears was, so I can't really tell you guys how, how many runs it'll take you to get 5-star gears or anything, but it's, you have 1.5 times the rate, so on its face that seems good, right? But we'll talk a little bit here about I'm not sure if it's entirely worth it to farm heroic currently, but we'll chat through that here in a second. Other things that happen, and I'll go into heroic here in a minute to show you guys this, but you can select up to two different gears and get increased drop rates. However, there's they add extra challenges, or to make it harder to beat the dungeon, and some of them are actually pretty tough, and you can't use some pretty standard teams. You might have, if you're trying to really farm for some specific gears, you're probably going to need to change up your normal farming team to try to get those, but you do get 1.3 times the drop rate for them, which isn't terribly crazy. And then there's two other things here, right? So we have universal gear drops. So you can select that option, and you get a 0.5% chance of dropping the universal gears. That works out to getting one drop roughly every 200 runs, so incredibly rare to actually get it. And the challenge, or the extra difficulty that they give you for that, it's actually pretty it crushes a lot of current teams that are being used in a lot of dungeons. It will make damage over turn. Basically, if you're running a dot team, or a team that's targeting the max HP, so for example the popos, the light popos, you're going to have a harder time running those dungeons. You're probably going to need to run something else, to be honest, if you're trying to get that. As I say, I haven't really tried too many teams with that, because to me personally, I don't think that's particularly worth it. The other one is the Illyrium drop, which is very appealing to me on its face. You get a 2% chance to drop Illyrium. That works out to an Illyrium roughly every 50 runs. You can get luckier, and I've seen some guildies pulling 2 or 3 in a 20 run, so you could definitely stack up some Illyrium drops. The downside to this is they're going to drop your luck rate by 50. So what ends up happening is you might be able to get these bonuses, but you're going to have low luck, and so you have to weigh the trade-offs of what you really want. Are you trying to farm gears? Are you trying to farm Illyrium? We could chat through it, but I think some of you guys might honestly be better off just running B10 than heroic currently, just depending on what your goals are. I'm gonna hop over to the heroic mode and show you my heavy metal team. Yeah, so here you guys go. Whenever you clear the 10th floor with 250 luck, you will unlock this heroic mode, which comes down here at the bottom. So you can click into this, and the way you interface with the heroic mode is this little skull in the center. So this is where you can select all the different options for what you're trying to do. I'm actually going to work bottom up. So you could toggle which options you want to do. So if you're trying to get the Illyrium, you click this, then every 50 runs you'll get an Illyrium, and your luck rate is then reduced by 50%. So it doesn't cut your luck rate in half, it just drops it by 50 percentage points. So if you have 300 luck, you click this, you now have 250 luck. And I can show you what that looks like. So if you see here at the bottom, there's minus 50 on here, so it's knocking me down a good bit. Yeah, and you could do that with the universal gear, and like I said, roughly every 200 runs that might work, but it's going to make the dot damage and proportional to HP damage reduced, so that might be tough. And then going up here, so you can select up to two and up to two of these, any two, and it'll won't let you select three. Basically, if you're trying to farm a particular gear, you can get that increased rate, but then there's the extra challenge over here. And I think some of these are harder than others, unfortunately, because the ones that I would like to farm, I think, are harder. For example, the Zeal gear. So if you're running this, then the boss is going to get immunity at the start. So you need to bring a stripper, which I don't have in my current team, so I'm not currently running that. And then I also like the Echo gears. And then this one's really annoying to my current team because whenever it says enemies here. Whenever enemies lose HP due to damage over turn, increase the boss's action bar. And I think this actually applies to, and you guys can correct me down in the comments, but I've been trying to run with this one, and whenever my team, so the allies, take dot damage, because those these little sentry guys here will put out this dot. Whenever mine have been hitting that, it's been also increasing the boss's attack bar. And basically the way my team's working here, if the boss takes a turn, your run's over. And with the Echo bonus on, I've noticed when I take the dot damage, the boss's bar goes up. He takes a turn and then my run fails. So I can't run that one. So the two I'd be interested in, I need completely different teams for. These other ones, this one seems pretty hard. The protect gear one, because he's going to get a shield. I wouldn't recommend that. These other ones, I think you probably can just run, and it's not going to matter. So if you care about the glancing rate, the accuracy, or the team accuracy gears, I think you can run those with the team that I have here. And I might even just turn these on just to show you what this looks like. But yeah. So boss's attack won't land as a glancing hit. That doesn't bother us because the boss shouldn't hit us. Boss's effect accuracy increased, same thing. All enemies have increased effect accuracy, same thing. I don't really care because the boss shouldn't be moving in with my team. So what I have selected here, so I have two of the increased percentages, and then I have the chance to increase Illyrium. And then with my particular team, I have 234 luck, but I did want to flag that I have the 30 from the subscription, and then I have one of those, like, I don't know, from the event, like, you get extra luck, the little card that gives you 30. So there is an extra 60 here, so it's kind of canceling out the heroic. But if we take off that 30, right, then we're right over 200%, which is kind of what I was aiming for this team. So still trying to get some luck on this team, but still, be able to farm the Illyriums. And this is, so I'll put this in my the description below, but this is basically the high luck team that I was running for B10. Now I had to adjust it to get this team to clear heroic mode. So less luck. Basically, the biggest difference I had to do was and I might be able to tweak this and eventually do it, but for now, I can't run luck on my Dr. Evil for the slot 2. I needed to switch to attack to give him enough damage to clear the waves. So I'll start with Dr. Evil's gears here. So I am running attack, crit damage on him. I'll click through the other gears. You guys can see what these are. Basically, his job on the team is to clear waves 1 and 3 with his S3 here. So for him, you really want to give him, he needs to crit every time, so make sure whatever leader you have, you're getting to the 100. Give him high crit damage and give him attack. I have the tunings on here. You guys can see the order here. Basically, the turn order will be that your puppet will move, and then your Dr. Evil will move and clear the waves. And then we have the Popos moving, It doesn't matter which order they move in or anything. It's just they just need to move kind of third in your rotation, and then last on your team needs to be the water sorcerer, and that's mainly for the boss wave because we need him to do the S3 to reset the attack bar. I'll click into the other units, show you the gears that I have going on here. Still trying to get as much luck as I can, but for Puppet Artist, again, definitely, I think you want to try to aim for like 85 accuracy or something. Seems to be about where you're hitting every time. 84 has been working for me here pretty good, but just, make sure you have accuracy. That's probably the most important stat, and that it's moving, first on your comp. Crit rate, I just happen to, I'm trying to make sure my team's consistent and doing enough damage on clearing the waves, so I am running crit rate on this just for every little bit of extra damage. I have luck, accuracy, and crit rate right now. Click through the other gears, and I do have a combination of Inspire and Discover sets on my puppet. You guys, if you're not doing enough damage and you're not clearing waves, switch out Discover, do full Inspire. That'll help you guys with damage. But if you're doing enough damage, then you can start trading out some Inspires for extra luck. So that's, kind of where I am with this one. For the Popos, again, you want them to always crit. So make sure with the leader skill that you're getting 100 crit. Try to aim for over 200 crit damage, and then just give them as much attack as you can. Emphasize crit damage over the attack because your S3 is doing the HP scaling damage. And again, if you're running the difficulty where HP scaling damage is reduced, this team isn't that great because it's just gonna, nerf your damage. I have kind of a mixed set here with some damage, some crit rate, and Discover for some extra luck. And I'm running luck, attack, crit damage. If you're not doing enough damage, you could try extra attack up here, etc. You can run speed if you need to get it speed tuned, but luck is, if you're trying to really use this for a farming team, try to get as much luck as you can. I'll click into some of the other rooms here. You guys can see what I have. Okay, and I'll go show you the other Popo, which is, very similar. This one I have, it doesn't have a Discover set, but, same guidance. So, aim for 100 crit rate, aim for around 200 plus crit damage, and as much attack as you can, and then, as much luck as you guys want to put on your team. I'll click through these gears. So this one's on luck, attack, crit damage, and here's the other gears I have. For this particular team, you don't really need to worry about their HP or defense or anything for any of the units because you shouldn't be taking a hit. If you're taking a hit, you're not doing enough damage. And then the last unit here, so I have stacked a bunch of luck onto this sorcerer. I'm running luck, accuracy, and crit rate, and I'll click through the other gears. Important thing, again, you need to, aim for over 80 accuracy. I think 85 is like ideal. I'm not sure. You guys can, if you guys know, let me know down in the comments what the minimum is for always hitting, but this has been working out good. And again, I'm running crit rate, just trying to get every little bit of extra damage onto the boss and that kind of thing. You don't necessarily have to run crit rate. Just so, if you don't end up clearing things, just find ways to add more damage, like giving some crit rate, things like that. So I'll hop into a match here, show you guys what the revised team looks like, talk through it a little bit. And again, if you watch my other video on heavy metal, it's kind of the same thing, just we had to adjust the damage. So there you go. You have the defense break and clear from Dr. Evil. I'm going to put the defense break, do some damage, and then Popo clears this. Third wave, we repeat the first wave, so defense break on everybody, and then Dr. Evil will clear things. Then we go into the boss. We're going to land the defense break. We're going to do a little bit of pot shot damage. Popo's going to hit, and then that's where the reset comes in. And you saw we took the dots there. I don't know if I could increase my speed a little bit for the water sorcerer. I might have to increase the speed of the whole team if I do that, but just so water sorcerer moves before the that little guy there, that might be able to, I might be able to run this for echo sets, but as it stands, I'm getting cut by the guy who's putting the dots, and then that would increase the boss's attack bar and then cause my run to fail. But yeah, I've been running this team here for a while, for several runs, and I haven't seen this particular version fail. A couple earlier attempts when I was still gearing it up, Dr. Evil didn't do enough damage, and like one unit was for waves. On wave 1 was like surviving with like 1 HP. So you really need to try to boost this damage up to versus the B10. And you can see here, this is the rewards we got for just one. We got 1 5-star and 2 4-star. So it's not crazy better drops than just running B10, and we didn't even get the Illyrium there. Of course, it's kind of rare. We could go in here again. In terms of speed, if you guys watch we'll go back in here, but I have 169 on my blue sorcerer right now, and I think you're going to need to run something about that for this team to work because of the boss's attack bar. If we go check it out, it will be pretty much full whenever the sorcerer moves. And like I said, we might even want to try to boost the speed of everybody up a little bit if we want to try to farm those echo gears. But for now, this is working for just clearing heroic. Yeah, with the setup I showed you, no problem with the waves. Yeah, watch the boss's attack bar. Yeah, it's like full right now, and then we're moving. So I don't think you could be much slower with this blue sorcerer. Otherwise, the boss will move and then cause your run to fail. Yeah, but there you guys go. That is the team I'm running here. I'm just going to run it on a 20 set while I talk about... and I will... I'm actually going to keep that one. Let's see if we get anything cool. No, not really. Anyway, I'm going to run this on a 20 set, and then I want to just talk a little bit about, should you guys be farming this? Heroic in general, I think if you guys have a really good team, you could farm it and take advantage of it. But I think for a lot of you guys, the trade-offs between, one, the difficulty of actually clearing it, and the luck reduction if you're trying to go for Illyriums, I think a lot of you might want to just consider farming B10. If you guys have the gears and team comps to run heroic, great. But like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily super worth it at this point, especially for some of the other dungeons right now. But heroic here, I've managed to put a stable team together that's clearing it quickly and with decent luck. So if you can pull this off, I mean, it might be worth your time to run heroic for heavy metal. I'm going to go through and try out some of the other teams, but I think I've had to cut luck so much for some of them just to clear it that to me personally, it wouldn't be worth it to farm. But maybe if I do some more research and figure out how I can stack luck and still clear some of these things pretty quickly, it might become worth it. But yeah, my initial take is, I don't know. You might be better off just running B10. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if this was helpful. I might try to do some of the other dungeons here in a little bit, but I, just starting out with the heavy metal team because I didn't have to change my team composition. I just had to change the gears on them. And really, again, the big difference between my B10 team versus this team was really just giving Dr. Evil enough damage to clear things. And then, I think you need to be a little bit faster too, just to make sure the heavy metal guy doesn't move. Yeah, with that, thanks so much for watching, guys, and take it easy.